Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 1st to the 7th of May 2023. Now this week we head towards an eclipse on the 5th, and that's at 14 degrees Scorpio. Scorpio is very much highlighted this week because before that Pluto will turn retrograde. So Pluto is the planet that rules Scorpio, so to have this retrograde coming in first really sets the tone for the next couple of weeks. This is until the 12th of June when Pluto goes back into Capricorn. Currently in Aquarius, this is our test run that we've spoken about before, for next year onwards when Pluto will spend 16 years in the sign of Aquarius. So Plutonic energy this week, heading towards a full moon in Scorpio on the 5th, and when any planet goes retrograde, that means taking that energy within us. Pluto representing dying to the old to be reborn to the new. This can be seen in as much as raising consciousness, letting go of the mundane, the lower level frequencies, and raising up our energy to higher consciousness, raising from the human condition to the spiritual, letting go of the past by clearing out our subconscious, going within to see what's lurking. Scorpio is very much a sign that goes into the dark places and brings things out to light. And the whole sign is to do with transformation and transmutation, purging, purifying and healing. So a very slow moving planet, slowly going retrograde for the next few months until early October, looking deep within, finding anything that's holding us down or back, that's of a low frequency, and liberating ourselves to be vibrationally reborn. So by the time we get to the full moon eclipse, with its phoenix-like energy on the 5th, this full moon is happening opposite Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, and Mercury retrograde. So here we see that we need to revise, go really into the Mercury retrograde. Quickest way is often to see the opposite, to make sure that we're actually sure and not building on unstable ground. And with Uranus there as well, we've got the ability to break mental habits. They say it's impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. So challenging what we think we know, being empowered enough to take everything apart and then only put back the pieces that are essentially true. So there is a death and a rebirth here. There's a raising of energy and there's a sense of liberation from past lower densities, stepping into our unique vibrations, unlearning to live in a strong and independent and sovereign fashion. So if you have Scorpio planets in your chart 14 degrees, or Taurus, because Uranus is at 18, Mercury is at 8, then those are a couple of places to look. But the big theme for the next few years will be the 0 degree Aquarius point. So if you're following along with your charts, those are the places to actually focus on at the moment. So with eclipses, it's best to stop, look and listen. It's not a time to set intentions or activate anything. With Uranus involved, there could be some flash revelations, and Mercury retrograde, there could be some new information coming through, or the need to return to an old situation and revise it. We've been in the Mercury retrograde phase since just after the last new moon eclipse on the 21st of April. So if you have been tuning in, you may realise now by the things that are seemingly going on the outside and coming into your world what the story is and what this retrograde actually represents to you. But at this point, as the eclipse comes along, dredging deep into our subconscious waters, facing our fears, facing our density, realising what needs to be released, and actually purging our inner waters is the transformation that I feel that this full moon eclipse will bring. Being able to unlearn and challenge our base beliefs. Anything that's challenged and still stands is obviously still serving us. But there's no harm with these very powerful energies that are going on at the moment in giving everything a little shake to see if it still stands. As especially with Mercury retrograde, we always end up better off having done the internal introspection, and we re-emerge back on course, changed for the better. But with a Pluto retrograde in the mix as well, being empowered enough to challenge ourselves to the core, being responsible enough to clean up our own mess, will bring a sense of purification and deep healing. So quite a serious energy this week. Feels purposeful, feels like we all have an individual mission to perform authentically, meticulously, and with complete and utter integrity. There's a brave aspect. Sometimes we don't make changes because we're afraid of change itself, but focusing on the prize here of raising our vibration, finding our true selves, making space, liberating, escaping some of the conventional programming, then we needn't have that fear of change. As we rise from the dense to the highest, with a purging fire and a bright spirit, this hugely transformative week wants to be taken seriously, wants to be done properly, and carries huge benefits going forwards. So things work on many levels. Things will be working in your chart according to what house they're happening in, and if there are any natal planets nearby. I'm happy to help you do that. If you want to contact me, zoehine7@gmail.com. We can arrange a reading or classes or coaching, as it's part of your life purpose to explore your chart and your unique vibrational frequency. It's your design, and there's a celebration. Once you reconnect with it, start to realise all that you are and harness your potential. All the different planets in your chart, once you get to know them, widens out your view of self. It's like a soul retrieval, like coming back home. So on this transformative and deeply healing week, do take a look at your chart. Do start to tune in a bit more what you came here for and who you really are, because that's your roadmap and your guidance system in these coming years with Pluto in Aquarius that you'll be able to rely on and step into your uniqueness. So wishing you a transformative week, and I'll see you next week.